Let's move on to the fall damage thing. This will be a real quick check. Is fall damage, not fall damage, is the bounce speed consistent is what we want to test here. So let me give myself a ton of health. Delicious. So how far are we falling here? Okay, this is your garden variety 8-tile fall. Basically as early as you would expect to take a fall. What's our velocity? 0.1, and then it decays at the usual speed. The usual speed in this game, gravity, unless you're doing some like heavy state jank or whip shenanigans, gravity in this game is 0.01 per second, or per frame, not per second. That doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's 0.01 tiles of acceleration due to gravity, capped at a limit of 0.4. Do I know about midair heavy state? I do not. Yeah, I might know about that, but I don't know that by name, so explain while I go over this. So let's take another fall from a little higher and see if it's any different. I don't think it will be. Yeah, we're falling at terminal velocity right now, and we get 0.1. And if I fall from any lower, I'm not going to take fall damage, but I could force myself to take fall damage with falling timer shenanigans, which you could do with like shotgun blasts and stuff. So this is a semi-realistic scenario. It's actually possible to take fall damage from really low heights, but I'm just going to simulate it by setting my falling timer to, I think 37 is when it starts dealing fall damage. Yeah, 38. So I'm going to take fall damage from this, and I still got 0.1. So I don't think it's speed dependent. I believe it is height dependent, and we could verify that by falling just long enough to take the 2 damage instead. So again, we're falling at 0.4 already. Alright, we got 0.1. That was still 1 damage fall, and let's go for the 0.2, and that's going to give us the bounce. So I think from up here we'll get the 2 points of damage. And I don't know if that's going to give me 0.2 velocity. I don't actually know what the number will be, so let's find out. Not quite. Let me move the ground a little bit. Let me miss the ground for a little longer until I get the 2. There we go. Alright, we're going to get the 2 damage from this one. 0.18, apparently, is the bounce that you get for that. And just out of curiosity, let me see if I can simulate that from here. If I just set my falling timer to, like, 90 or something. That's the 40. Let's try this. Yeah, I think you could actually bounce higher than your fall if you do this correctly. Normally you would not be able to make that happen, though. It's kind of an amusing concept. If you could like stall your falling timer in midair for a really long time, which there's probably some scuffed game mechanic that lets you do that, you could actually bounce higher than you fell from when you hit the ground, because this game is just that dumb. So let's see what the 4 damage bounce is, and then we'll do the fatal one after that. Yeah, we're gonna do the 4 damage bounce. We know that the height doesn't matter now, so let me set the falling timer to like 90 or whatever triggers it. It's just fucking so stupid looking. I wasn't paying attention to the speed. Let me run that one again. It just looks so silly how far you go. 0.25. So it was 0.1, 0.18, and 0.25 is the one you get from this. And we'll test the fatal one at the end, but I need to get rid of my Ankh first so that I actually get the bounce. And let's just test the fatal one. Yeah, you just some like self-damaging Kaizo, like just a Kaizo that is completely revolving around getting yourself hit by stuff. Like getting hit by lizards and arrow traps and like fall damage bounces to get height that you wouldn't normally be able to. That'd be incredibly amusing. Alright, so if we set this to fatal, 0.3. So 0.3 is the last one. And that just straight up kills you, so you can't really do anything with that one. Avoid you bounce. Yeah, 1, 2, 4, 99. I don't even think it's 99, I think it's fatal. Because I'm not sure if there's any way to really tell the difference. I don't think this game lets you have more than 99 health. In Spelunky HD, you could have 255 health, I'm pretty sure, but I think in this game it actually, like, caps it at the end of the frame. Not positive on that. I haven't tested if there's edge cases for that. Infinite fall damage is stupid, by the way. I just want to clarify. It should not be in the game, but it is for some reason. This is why you die instantly in CO if you fall in the loop. How could I get fall damage from low distance? There's a little bit of jank that can cause that. Let me catch up on chat first. Do I know about mid-air heavy state? I said I don't. It's the one that lets you do that one level in battle. Boys, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I still don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to clarify that. Alright, anyways, fall damage jank. Let me show a couple situations that you're probably familiar with. Actually, I think the plasma cannon makes it way more obvious. Yeah, let's see what the shotgun. The shotgun's a good example. Alright, so pay attention to velocity and falling timer. Causes you to experience different gravity. Oh, does it last for a long time? You whip and then release jump on the next frame. I'll have to look at that in a moment. So here's the common situation. You jump off an edge like this. That ain't fall damage. You jump off an edge like this and there's like a bat or something, so you shoot the bat instead. See if that happens. Not quite. Okay, let me try to get a situation where it would occur. It doesn't always happen here. Okay, so this jump right here. No fall damage. So that's we've established our test here. Let me see what the falling timer is in this situation. Okay, we're a couple frames from taking fall damage, but we don't take it here. But if I do the same exact thing, a max height jump, and then I fall, and then I fire the shotgun, notice how it reduced my velocity by 0.04, the recoil from the shotgun? That stalls my fall for long enough that I might... Actually, I didn't take it that time. That can stall your fall. I think, let's see, where would that be most effective? Probably at the... That was one frame away. I'm thinking, when would I shoot it? At the top of my jump? Well, that would give me height. Yeah, I think at the top of your jump is when you want to do it. Yeah, okay, to simulate this happening, let's just do it near the top. Get rid of this as well. So this is a safe jump. God damn it. Why am I having so much trouble with this? There we go. I do this all the time in normal runs. Yeah, it's the higher up in your jump you do it, the more likely you are to take the fall damage. Because your velocity is even lower than it would be normal. It's a compounding thing. I don't know how to describe this properly, but you do more damage to your overall like falling speed if you take the shot at the top of your arc. So if I were to jump here, and obviously if you give yourself an air jump, then it'll also do it, but I'm trying to talk about the situation where you're falling, you're shooting at like a caveman or something that's running after you. So if I fire the shotgun right here, reduce my velocity by a lot, which greatly delayed how long it's going to take me to reach the ground. And since this game is fucking stupid and it only bases your fall damage on how long you've been in the air and nothing else, I'm going to take fall damage now as a result of this. Because video games. That's why that happens. And if I do it up here, it'll be even worse. If I can get the timing right. I need to put a wall here. I'm having trouble controlling it. I need to do it specifically when I start falling. There we go. There's another one. You from ledge grab or no? Are you guys talking about the weird whip? Make sure you've explained that to me by the time I'm done fucking this up. Alright, so anyways, let's see. So what happens here? Notice the falling timer. If you fire the shotgun at any point during this, I haven't started falling yet. So that's the reason why I don't start accumulating extra fall damage. And it doesn't work the same way as before. And in this case, I didn't actually fall far enough to take the hit. But if I wait for this, if I wait for the peak of my jump, which is right here, and then I start falling, and then I fire the shotgun. Oh, it actually reset, interesting. So I need to be moving at more than 0.04 in the downward direction. The shotgun blast actually reset my falling speed when it went back above 0. That's interesting. So that's good to know then. That's actually consistent with how most things work in this game. If your velocity is ever positive, the game resets your fall speed. But any reductions to its negativity, if they don't bring it back into the positive, then it doesn't reset your fall. And that's what I just did right there. I just reset my velocity to 0, but it wasn't positive. So the game did not reset my falling timer, and now I have a worst case scenario fall where I could fall like 6 tiles and take fall damage from it. And that's why it feels bad when you shoot a shotgun and drop off a ledge that you know wouldn't have dealt fall damage, and you take the fall damage anyways. Just thought I'd show that. By shooting at 0.3 positive? I can, I don't know what that would do. Okay, so I'm going to shoot on this frame. It just adds, I think it actually adds 0.05, but gravity reduces it by 0.01 on that same frame. And that didn't do anything particular. Okay, you meant negative. I thought that's what you meant. I just wasn't sure. I think it might add 0.5. Let me do it from the ground. So my current Y position. Yeah, it adds 0.5 is what it does, but since I was falling, it immediately gets decremented due to the order in which the game calculates physics. Also, PBJ Pilot, thank you for the follow. I saw that and failed to acknowledge it. Hope you're enjoying the science. Alright, so let's do a jump. Alright, so here's the deal with this frame here. On the next frame, my velocity is going to, I think it's set to 0.04, and then it's going to add 0.05 from the shotgun. In that order is what's going to happen here. So I'm going to move down 0.04, and then the shotgun velocity is going to get added. Or it might actually add it afterward. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. Our current Y position's 526 to 87. Yeah, okay. It subtracted my current velocity, and then it added the shotgun speed. And then it decremented it. Yeah, it is important here. If you fired fast enough, yeah, you could do that with the plasma cannon as well. I did that. That was one of my first science streams. I set the plasma cannon to a 0 frame cooldown, and if you spam it fast enough, you could fly with it. It's way harder to do with the shotgun because you need to press this button like every 4 frames or something, or else you're gonna fall too fast. Alright, well anyways, let's see, that was the situation that didn't actually reset my falling timer because I think it got set to 0 before the game checked. So that was probably the worst case scenario for the fall. Actually, wait, did it? Oh, it did reset my falling timer, never mind. Yeah, it did reset it. Okay, yep, I see. I was thinking, like, that doesn't look right. That did reset it. That might be the last, like, chance that you could do that. Let's try it on 0.4. The infinite spawning shotguns, maybe. The infinite shotguns thing, by the way, is stale reference manipulation. Well, it's not manipulation yet. It's a stale reference glitch. And we can look into it a little bit on this stream, but what I'm more interested in is discovering how to detach the shotgun from the player rather than seeing what you could do afterward, because what you could do afterward is probably a whole stream of its own. There we go. That's the worst case scenario, the 0.04. And that's the one where I would take fall damage here, even though I literally just fell like 6.5 tiles. And you could fall 8 tiles if you whip on the correct frame. This game is very stupid.